everything is different. At least that's how I feel as a German. Grüß Gott! Hi, hello! Welcome to my channel. I am Sonja, SonjaSUNshine. I am here with my son right now. He's trying to grab my phone. In today's video, I'd like to tell you more about our exciting journey. We had to say goodbye to Bavaria, Germany, and as I mentioned before, our plane landed in Columbia, which is the capital of South Carolina. So we made it safely to the United States of America. In fact, let me show you on the world map here our journey, or where we came from. So here is Germany, here is Munich, that's in Bavaria. So we were living close to Munich, or not so close. It was about, I would say, an hour and 30 minutes away. So we came from here, and then our first stop was in Maryland. Let's try to find that. So we first stopped in Maryland. I'm afraid I'm still getting used to the map of the United States. And then we landed in North Carolina, which is here, NC, North Carolina. And then we flew from North Carolina to South Carolina, which is here. And here you can see Columbia, SC, South Carolina. So that's the abbreviation, Abkürzung, abbreviation, NC and SC, North Carolina and South Carolina. So that's here a really nice map. We are staying at an Airbnb, and I have to admit, the first few days in the United States have been so exciting. Everything is different. Everything is different. At least that's how I feel as a German. I remember the first time I was in a public restroom, I didn't even know how to lock the door. The door handles are different. Like, it just feels like everything is different. So let me actually try to show you. So my son is following me right now. So first of all, the first thing that's different here in South Carolina, and I suppose in the United States, the light switch. So that's also here. That's how you turn it off and turn it on. So the light switch is different. In Germany, you would have this, the whole thing, as a light switch, or maybe half of it. Yeah, and then in Germany you have kind of this as a light switch. So that's different. And then, of course, another thing, the outlets. So let me show you the outlets. That's how it looks. You have these three holes, and you also have a different voltage. So in Germany, we have a different voltage. I think our voltage is like 200, and that's how it looks. So it actually says how much volt it has. So here, let me actually show you. Here you can see, it says 2.5. I think A stands for ampere, and then 2.5 ampere to 250 volts. Yeah. So I brought this from Germany. Now I gotta use a travel adapter. Speaking of travel adapter, I'm sorry, my son is just trying to play with the outlet here. Travel adapter. You will definitely need that if you are obviously traveling. But since I am a mom and since the whole moving process was so chaotic, I really forgot to bring a travel adapter. Am I stupid? I brought so much, like, and then I forget the most basic thing, a travel adapter. Yeah. So, what else is different here in South Carolina compared to Germany? Oh yeah, I was trying to tell you or showing you the doors. So this door actually makes a little creaking sound. So let's actually try to. So you already saw the light switches here. Light switch, der Lichtschalter. And the plural, die Lichtschalter. I'm even teaching you a few German words. Der Lichtschalter, zwei Lichtschalter, one light switch, two light switches. So here we close the door, and do you see that little thing here? So that's how you're supposed to lock it. So see, did you see that? Now it's locked. Yeah, now it's locked, and then you see. So you lock it and unlock it. Yeah, so I was at the restroom, a public restroom. I was like, I don't get it. And then sometimes I noticed that the public restrooms are also a bit different, because I feel like sometimes, what was it? This one public restroom I went to, I think you had to push it and then it was locked, and then you kind of use this and then it's unlocked. Or I'm just sometimes a little confused. Yeah. And it's just been so exciting. It's just sometimes I feel like a fish out of water. I've had a few situations where people said something and I couldn't understand them. That was not so nice. And sometimes people kind of hear, I guess, my German accent. I've had people asking me, like, I just say a few words or like a few phrases, and then people are like, where are you from? I say, from Bavaria, Germany. It just kind of, this one American just really made me laugh, because this one American said, Germany? Is that in Europe? I said, yes, Germany is in Europe. But I guess I'm not perfect either. If you told me something about one state in the United States, so I've always had a passion for English, and I've always been fascinated by the United States. So in my free time, I always kind of still looked at things. There were certain things that I learned at school, but some things you just kind of forget. So I think my knowledge when it comes to the United States is not so good. Because I just noticed that in the school or at school, they just taught us more about Europe. So they were teaching about, you know, German history, of course, and then Europe, and it's just whatever the school focuses on and what kind of major focus they have, I suppose. Of course, if you grow up in the United States, then you will learn about the United States. And since I grew up in Bavaria, Germany, I just learned about Bavaria and, of course, Europe and the political system and all these kinds of things. But honestly, did I learn a lot about the United States? Kind of just the most basic things, like, okay, here's a map of the United States, you have 50 states, that's the flag. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end, and I hope that you found this video somewhat useful. I know I talk a lot, I am a talker. Thank you so much for watching the video, and of course, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, because that way you will get a notification when I post a new video, and you don't want to miss that, right?